Uneducated, unfiltered, unhinged. This is the Mangina Dialogues. We at it again with your host Nick Scopes and the Gregolicious. You know how we do, cause you know we keeping it gangster and silly. Unplugged like a full swung titty. Bout get jitty, cause you know we down to the nitty and the gritty. And we make shit sound so damn pretty. Yeah, cause this unhinged comedy. And right now you're in the mix, so get ready, cause we bout to get it poppin', and we ain't stopping.
Uneducated, unfiltered, unhinged. This the Mangina Dialogues. We at it again. Yeah, we at it again. Uneducated, unfiltered, unhinged. This the Mangina Dialogues. We at it again. Yeah, we at it again. Yeah, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Mangina Dialogues. I'm your host, Nick Scopoletti.
And I'm the Gregolicious.
And our guest today is Adam Nutter, comedian, host of Nerds with Words podcast. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on and taking the time.
So when's your wife getting home?
Yeah.
Fuck, any minute. Any minute he will come barreling through that door. We have the dog here. We watch my sister-in-law's dog every single day. So he's pretty much our dog.
Sweet.
And,
Every day you watch?
Home.
Wow.
What's up?
Every day you watch the dog?
Yeah. I love him. So he's like my little buddy.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Very
she'll
cool.
come home and freak out that he's here. I'm like, oh my God. And like, make it, because everyone in this household has the mental capacity of a 7-year-old. We're just all adults somehow. It's crazy.
Dude, tell me about it. I made it to 31, and I have a 7-year-old reading level, I'm pretty sure.
It's not 7 years old.
I don't know
cool
how.
You can read, so that's something.
Yeah, just learned like last year, so it's good.
You mentioned comic books. He really just looks at the pictures.
I think I've ever opened a comic book, actually.
That's all I do. I didn't even know there were words to them. I just scribble them out.
That's dope, man. What so first thing we want to cover is, so you're a comedian, but you're also a giant nerd, apparently. Nerds with Words podcast. You were talking about organizing your comic books prior to this recording.
Yeah. I have to balance my nerdom with my jockiness so I don't get beat up.
So how does one go about organizing your comic books?
Well, so I have this giant. You guys know what like a CGC graded comic book is?
I do not.
Nope.
You shouldn't. There's no reason to. It's cool. You guys have sex with women. So CGC graded comic book is like it's like an official. Essentially, think of it like if you're trying to value an object. Like this comic book is worth $800 now because we officially graded it. We made it like a thing. It's 9 something grade out of 10, and I have a giant collection of those that's worth like $10,000.
What?
Yeah, it's nuts. I have like Spider-Man 300. I got like the very second appearance of the Riddler ever in Batman. I think it was Batman 431. I have like the very first time Spider-Man wore his black suit. I have like the very first Deadpool. I have some like really good comic books, and overall it's worth like $10,000.
I have a good comic book value story for you if you want to hear it.
Yeah, I do.
So I went to, I think I mentioned I'm sort of in that nerddom business.
Yeah.
And I was at New York Comic Con a few years ago, and I was just walking around, and I really, for being entrenched in that business, have zero knowledge of what that shit costs and it's worth and whatever.
Right.
So I'm walking through, and I'm sure you've been. It's all just vendors selling.
I was there last weekend.
Yeah, so I wasn't, thankfully. But I apologize.
It's just too many. It's not the comics. It's too many people.
It is.
It's
a
more
lot. It's the people. So I'm walking the
dude.
aisles, and I see Spider-Man #1. Right, Spider-Man, whatever that thing is, Amazing Fantasy. What is it? What is it called? It's not Spider-Man.
Amazing Fantasy 15.
Right. So I see it like hanging on this guy's wall in like the worst condition you could possibly imagine. It's not in one of those rating things. It's just in the shitty bag, and I'm like, oh, I should buy that for my kids. Just put it in like their safe or something. So I said to the guy, I'm like, hey, how much is that Spider-Man, whatever it is? And he just says the number 63. right? And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not bad. I'm like, I'll take it. I'm like, I could put that in like my kid's room and let them fuck around with it. It's not that valuable. And he's like, no, I wouldn't do that. I'd put it in a safe. And I'm thinking, $63. Why would I put that in a safe? Right. So I'm like, do you take credit cards? And he's like, no, for something of that value, I only take cash. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? $63? He's only willing to take cash. So I was like, okay. I'm like, I don't think I can go to the ATM and whatever. He's like, well, you're going to have to get cash. And I'm like, fuck. And ultimately, it turned out to be $6,300.
Right. Which, by the way, I was with you at the beginning of that, but like halfway through, I was like, no, you're the dumb one in this now. He gave you so many like clear signs of like, are you sure you want to do that?
He totally did.
$6,300.
Totally did. I don't know. I'm like, thank fucking God this guy didn't take credit cards because I would have given him my credit card
and not even looked.
I'm going to one up your amazing Fantasy 15 story from what just happened to me nearly last weekend, guys. So obviously, I know what I'm looking at when I go to these places, right? Because this is my hobby world. I also sell comics too. Like I actually make some money off doing this. So like, I'm walking around, and now what you guys need to know, I want to make this whole nerd thing. So the real nitty gritty of it is Amazing Fantasy 15 is the very, very, very first ever Spider-Man appearance ever. Okay, that ungraded piece of shit you saw was $6,300. Okay, there's really not too many high graded ones out there. There's only 2 that are 9.6 and above in existence that we know of. I saw one and I held it in my hands last Saturday. It was graded CGC grade 9.6. Take a guess at how much it was.
$2 million.
1.1 million.
No.
1.1 million.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. There's
See, this is a world I know nothing about, so I'm very
$3 million.
interested. $1.1 million.
Now, he wasn't selling it. It was more like a, hey, this is 1.1 million. I'm not selling it, though.
Who would buy that?
Why did he have it out where you could fucking round with it?
Oh,
Yeah.
no. He was behind glass and shit. He just like held it out and I touched it. I took a picture with it. It's more of a look at my big dick energy in Comic-Con.
Nerd style, nerd dick.
Do you go to San Diego?
I'm planning on, I want to take my dad there one year. I'm planning on it.
I go to that every year.
Do you really?
It frightens the fuck out of me. I have anxiety now for next year.
I would love to go there, man.
You know what? I mean, frankly, I don't get it. It's all it really is a giant swap meet. So unless you're really going to stand in all those lines to hit up all the different, whatever appearances and talks and all those panels, like I'm not sure what you get out of San Diego that you don't get out of New York or any other smaller Comic-Con besides the crazy exclusives. You will also wait 3 hours in line to get a Funko figure.
Right. I actually have a pretty big Funko collection too, worth some money, but I stopped collecting those.
Yeah, I have one too.
That's worth check this out. I think my Funko collection is worth more than my comic book collection.
Jesus. That's crazy.
Because I hit them, I got them, and they were not like whatever.
What's your most valuable Funko?
Value.
What's the most valuable one?
I have the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas. Right?
Oh my god, I love that fucking movie so much.
Yeah, me too. I have 2 tattoos, but I got
Do
that
you?
one. You know how much that fucking mayor is worth now, dude?
No.
$550.
How many Funkos do you have?
Like 400, but they're worth like $13,000.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I had to insure my comic book collection and my Funko collection, like through an insurance company, because they're worth so much money.
Well, yeah, that's insane. What's the most expensive singular comic book you own? Like, what's the one that you're like, this costs the most?
Huh?
Because we know
That's a great
you said
question.
collectively $10,000, I believe, before.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the one that's
I
like,
have that
this is the
book.
most expensive out of all of them?
That's a great fucking. Maybe my Deadpool technically might be the most, or my Amazing Spider-Man 300 might be the most. I'm actually looking. It's how much of a fucking nerd I am, and I want to be accurate. I went to my let me get to my app and look. Fucking, how am I married?
I don't know, man. You beat me.
You don't have kids yet?
I have a kid, not with my wife. That's a whole other issue. Oh, I know. Walking Dead #1 I have, which is like $2,000.
What? Jeez.
What did you pay for it?
I paid at the time $800.
800.
Yeah, at the time, which is a steal.
Wow. What
Yeah.
now? What? Because I mean, you're talking to someone who's never. I don't think I've ever held a comic book. So, but I'm very interested by this. What dictates the value on it? Is it like kind of like with wine? Is it like the age? Is it the actual series of it? Like the popularity of the series?
Usually it's age. There's not too many comic books from like even the thousands that are worth,
Right.
just because they're so. Okay, I'll give you this: the Death of Superman comic book in '90. I don't know, whatever, 6, I think it was 4. I don't know. It was mid-90s. Death of Superman. That was supposed to be like a giant comic book. The Death of Superman. I have that comic book, a variant cover of that, signed by the guy who wrote it, at a graded like 9.6, something like that. And it's only worth like $80 because they printed so many of them.
I actually have that too.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone does.
I didn't even take it out of that locked bag.
It's probably worth $10. Yeah. Ungraded like that.
That's wild.
You want it? You can have it.
Nah.
He's like, nah, dude. Got it, bro.
I have a better one than that. It's just worth nothing because they made so many.
God, that's wild. What led you
to? The Walking
to
Dead #1? That one is the only recent one that I can think of is worth a lot of money.
What's it called? Say it again. What'd you say?
The Walking Dead #1. Yeah.
Oh, damn! I didn't know it was a comic book series. See, I have zero clue.
It was a show. It was a series first, and then a show.
Okay. All right.
Back in 04, I think.
04. When did this obsession start? When did you know you were a nerd?
Okay, yeah. All right, I'll get into that. So when I was a kid, my dad got me into it when I was 5 years old. But he also got me into sports. So I had this weird balancing act of I love football, I also love Spider-Man.
No, I have a lot of friends like that. All of my friends are like that.
Cool in the 90s and the early 2000s, fucking Spider-Man and Batman. They was still very much not a cool thing to be like. So, I was a really good football player, and my own teammates, bullied me because I didn't get along with anyone. Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
So do you have all those, Under Armour, performance shirts with Captain America and Spider-Man and all that shit that they came out with a couple years ago?
This is when Under Armour first came. This is back in 2000, dude. I'm fucking, I'm older. So, I played high school football from 2000 to 2004. And I got bullied in 2004.
When did you lose your virginity?
Oh, in high school, but that was off of football, though.
How'd you do in college?
So, I got to ride that a little bit. So, I thought, being good in football would, make me not get bullied.
Yeah.
But it didn't, because I didn't know how to, fight. So then at 18 years old, I was like, oh, I'm going to, this is back in, in 2004. This is, when MMA was still not really a thing.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to get into MMA, though. And I started to train, and then I fell in love with MMA, and then I started to fight for fun, amateur.
Right.
And then I did that for 8 years. So
wow.
I did football and MMA for a long time, and then the MMA was like, oh, try bullying me now, douchebag. I'll fuck you up.
Dude, no, my friends are exactly like you, dude. My one friend didn't play, he was our ended up being captain of our high school team, all this stuff. He literally was playing with Power Rangers and reading Transformers and all this shit until he started playing football. And he was this big freak, and so all my friends are just like that. So I get the balance of it. I have a buddy who's 30. He's my age, 31, ex-football player, played in college, was a powerlifter as well. Watches Dragon Ball Z so much. He's the father of twin girls. He's a successful business owner. But I'll come to his house and he'll be sitting there watching Dragon Ball Z with the subtitles in Japanese because he said it's better. And I'm like, you are a nerd, bro. What's wrong with you?
I'm not into anime at all. I'm not,
no anime porn?
Nah. Regular horrible porn, yeah. Sure.
So who?
You want to talk about how fucked up I am? We can do that too. Oh, my wife's going home too, so maybe not. But
who's your superhero choice?
It's a tie between Spider-Man and Batman. I think always has been.
Who's your favorite Batman from the movies?
I think Bale was overall the best.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, but Keaton is close second.
Yeah, I expected you to say Michael Keaton for sure, but I could definitely. Those Dark Knight movies were pretty incredible.
I used to say Keaton because that's the one I grew up with.
Yeah, same. I had all the toys.
And I'm looking at it from a movie perspective. It's Christian Bale's Batman.
Yeah, when you go back, that's the thing. You go back and watch those movies, and the punches are so cartoony. Like when Michael Keaton's punching Jack Nicholson as the Joker, it's like psh, bang! Like what the?
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
It's not as bad as like Val Kilmer or Clooney.
Oh, those were.
Or Adam, I'll pick fucking Ben Affleck's Batman over fucking Clooney's Batman and Kilmer's Batman.
Really?
For sure.
Dude, maybe you can explain this to me, and this is a question I've always had. So I haven't read the comic books, but I've, since all these Marvel and DC movies have come out, I've seen almost all of them. I really like them. They're interesting, but I have to, I refer back to my nerd friends. I'm like, what is this? Who's this guy? Why is this person this? Whatever. But why is DC doing so bad in the movies? What the fuck is happening?
Listen, I can only give you my opinion, right? And when I said,
they
saw the success of Marvel and went, "Oh, we have to catch up," instead of, "Okay, let's just start our own timeline from the ground up," which they started with Man of Steel, and then they were like, "Let's accelerate it."
Yeah.
Instead of just doing their own thing, it's not a competition. They're trying to make it a competition. It's not.
Yeah, it's not even.
Marvel
close.
and DC are two very different things. Very different things.
Yeah.
It's not I like both, guys. We all, most of them, if you're a comic book fan, you like both.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a reason to, you like, oh God, she's home, no, it's on, and my dog's home. No.
Run!
It's gonna get good.
Oh, it's the mailman. I'll take that.
Oh, invite him in.
Oh,
is it
hey,
him?
bud.
Is it Brent?
It's like I deliver
That's
in the
what I'm
rear.
talking about. Get in the house.
Don't yell at your wife like that.
No, it's just
Me too.
Get in the house.
That's me. Sure can. All right. All good?
We have a box of dildos from Adam Nutter.
Can you sign for these?
Yeah, can you sign for these?
That's a terrible print.
We're going to test them.
All right, man. Thanks, dude. Oh, there's a pen. Sorry for the dog. Jesus Christ, look at that. Terrible timing for podcast interviews.
No, this is all good, dude. We love it.
Sorry.
Where do you live? Where do you live, Adam?
I live right outside of Philly now in Newtown. I'm from New York, though.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Awesome.
I feel so bad for that mailman. It's a little dachshund going apeshit at him.
Just attacked him.
So who's your football team?
I mean, he's a little dachshund. Giants.
Right.
Yeah.
Giants, Yankees, Rangers. I don't give a shit about basketball.
Same.
So
Well, if you're from New York, there's no reason to give a shit about basketball.
Yeah.
That's true. They're terrible. So,
where are you from in New York?
Staten Island.
Staten Island. Oh shit.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about your comedy for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk
Sure.
about too.
So that's how you make your full-time living?
Well, yeah. I mean, so what happened was before I did comedy. Well, actually, that's not true. I started comedy at like 18, and I was like, "Oh, this is what I always wanted to do it." And living in Staten Island, Manhattan, right there. So what better place than New York fucking city to start comedy? So I hopped across. I took the ferry over. My very, very ever first open mic is at the famous Comic Strip Live on like the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And I fell in love with it ever since I was 18. And then I was doing it for like a year. And I did that dumb 19-year-old kid thing you do, where you're like, oh, I won't make money doing this. Because you panic.
Right.
Because, like, you know, you're only doing it for a year, and you're like, your parents are like, sort of like they were on me, but they were like, you know, you still like make some money doing something. But I was like, oh no. So what I did was I just became a cop at 21 in New York, and I fucking hated it.
You became a cop?
Yeah, in New York. So I
Damn.
worked in Staten Island, and I fucking hated it because because I got bullied when I was a kid. I hated bullies, and I thought like, oh well, I always was anti that. So I thought becoming a cop, you get to help people, and then as soon as you get into the machine, you're like, oh, they don't really care about helping people. They just want you to make money for the city, like, you know.
Right.
And it quickly becomes not about that. And I'm also like, not to make it political, but I'm a libertarian. So, like, I'm not too keen on, like, what the police have become, you know, and they're over-militarized and too many laws, too many regulations, all that shit. So I was, like, 8 years in, and I was like, fuck, I hate this. But I'm, like, 8 years in now. What am I going to do? I'm, like, halfway almost to retirement at that point.
Yeah.
But, like, I quit doing comedy. I was like, I wasn't doing comedy at all. I was fucking miserable. 3 car accidents later on the job and 3 severe head injuries later, they kicked me out.
Wow.
For injury purposes. So they didn't kick me out. It's not they're like, you're out. They medically let you go.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't do it anymore. Like, I get like crazy headaches sporadically.
That's tough.
All the time. Then I got like severe depression and anxiety for a while, like from all the chemical imbalance in my brain. I couldn't fucking make like decisions. It was fucking bad. I had so many head injuries. Also playing football and MMA, and also the car accident. So like my head's all fucked.
Car wrecks in the job are from like chases and things like that, I would assume.
One, I wish. One was we got hit by a drunk driver casually driving. That was one.
In your cop car.
Yeah, man.
Drunk driver hit you.
Yep. Yeah, just driving. We were just driving, just casually. Like 1 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, want to get something to eat? Boom! Fucking T-boned.
Yeah.
And like, what? And then the other one, we were other cops calling for help, and it was raining out. We kind of my buddy just kind of lost control. We hit like a giant boulder on the side of the road. And the third and final one was same thing. Cops calling for help. We were fucking driving. Lights and sirens on. Some girl just walks out to the middle of the street, and it's either I hit her and kill her, or I swerve. So I had to swerve. I hit a light pole. The light pole came crashing down. Tire goes up the car. I go into oncoming traffic. I lose consciousness. I wake up. I'm like on a gurney. I'm like, fuck.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. So after that one, they're like, you're done. I was like, that's a good idea. I don't think I should do this job anymore.
Like, thank you.
So they're paying for your comedy career.
Yeah. So then I was like, well, I might as well start doing comedy again, right? Then that was 4 years ago now. So ever since then, I've been doing that full time again, and the podcast and stuff.
Awesome.
But so I've been doing comedy overall as a total 6 years.
Cool.
So what do you?
The 2 years earlier, and then the last 4.
So you do you do it locally? Do you travel around the country? Like what's?
No, I travel around the country. Wherever has me, I go. We were in LA 2 months ago over the summer. I think we'll go back to Ohio soon. We're mostly East Coast.
What'd you do in LA? What rooms did you do in LA?
We were doing like a lot of lounge and bar shows from like friends we know out there, and then we did we went to the comedy. I went to the comedy store to hang out, right? Twice to try to be like, oh, if I know anybody here, like, you know, because I know a lot of New York guys who go out there because I'm right here from New York's right here.
Yep.
So maybe I could grab a New York guy I might know and be like, hey, get us in. Not like to do a spot, just like get us in to hang out, like with the other guys, you know.
Right.
And but I didn't see anybody fucking, but we did a lot of rooms out there. Like, we did go to Sycamore Tavern, like the dojo, like Tim Tripoli's. We didn't do his show, but we were in that club. So we did a lot of stuff out there. It was fun. But it's all about connections. Like, you just make connections, and then you go, hey, I'm going out to LA, next month, like, and you just book a ton of shows out there.
Right. And you just book them all on your own?
Well, because I don't have a fucking agent. I'm not famous.
So do you play New York a lot still?
I go to New York as much as I can. But, I'll do the fucking early. I'm not passed any of the clubs, so I'll do like the early, like the 7 p.m. or like 7:30 p.m. or like Broadway comedy club show at like Thursday night, which is good. But like, I'm just working my way into trying to, but it's so hard to get fucking past like these New York comedy clubs, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I did the showcase, the Broadway showcase recently. Last.
Oh wait, with the Bringer one? Don't do the Bringer one, dude.
I did it. Too late.
Don't do those. I was doing that. No, I was doing. They're making me do like the. I was like one of the featured comics on the Bringer shows. So it's like the Bringer comics. They would bring like the comic, and it's like it'd be like the host.
Yeah.
Bringer comic. Regular comic, Bringer comic, me, 2 Bringer comics, and then like the headliner.
Yeah, this was like the new talent. Not it was new talent showcase, but it was like the industry room or something like that.
No, this scams, dude.
That's exactly what I say too.
That's what great. Listen, I did it once. I just got a different experience. Whatever. I got like a development spot out of it. I was like, all right, cool. I've only been doing this a year, so I was like, that's cool, awesome. Did it, done.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, you could do it again and then get a residency. And I'm like, that's cool, but like, I don't know. It's tough the rest of the year. Like all my friends are, I'm 31, man. All my friends are married and kids, and like I'm not gonna be like, hey, get a babysitter and come to the city.
By the way, like, no, you won't. Like that's what they tell you, and you might, but like it's gonna take. It's not like that's just how they. That's why you got to be careful of those fucking Bringer shows and stuff, because you're like, oh yeah, come out again, and you're like, okay, and you bring like 6 more people, and you're like, oh dude, come out again. And you're like, oh, great. And then, like, 8 shows in, you keep bringing people out. And you're like, hey, am I going to, like, yeah, oh, we're booked right now, but, we'll let you do it soon. And, like, no, you won't. That's what they do, man. Like, a lot of those guys are fucking scumbags. You got to be careful. But that's that's the thing I learned right away almost. Like, in the, again, like, when I was like, a year or 2 in, like you were, that's when I made those mistakes. But now, 6 years in, you get to be a certain level of, like, decent. Where you're like, oh, I don't have to do those. That's ridiculous. It's just a fucking scam. So, you don't do them anymore. And now, 6 years in, I just get booked on whatever now. Whatever.
That's cool, man.
You ever make it out, like, up this way in Connecticut ever? Outside the city?
We're trying, actually. Me and my buddy Mike D'Alto, who he's a very good comic. Oh, to give him a plug, and if you guys are comedy fans, he has an album on iTunes, Mike D'Alto, Live at John and Peters. Very good. It reached number 2 in iTunes charts. If everyone wants to go check that out. But me and him are thinking about going up to Connecticut soon and doing like a little run around New England, maybe, possibly.
Well, we got the spot for you.
Where you guys get up over by you?
We book one club here exclusively in South Norwalk, Connecticut. It's a new club that just opened up, and we're booking it 3 nights a week. Well, 2 nights a week. We run their open mic on a different night, and then we do a bunch of monthly shows around the metro New York City area. So we're basically doing about, I don't know, over 15 shows a month, maybe more.
Dude, that's fucking great, man. You guys, this isn't like this is a personal business question. Tell me to fuck off. It relates to what I want to bring up. How are you guys good with tickets? Like, you guys doing free ticket sales or anything? You guys just show up, it's free, or how do you guys run it?
Both. Like the club we book in South Norwalk is all. I mean, it's both. You can walk up and pay, but we just started a few weeks ago, and they've been basically first couple shows sold out. The next shows are pre-selling about half capacity, and then whatever comes in that night.
Dude, that's great, man.
The shows that we do, we basically do a bunch of shows in some craft breweries in the area, and we don't really pre-sell those shows. They're just at the door. But they've been pretty well attended, anywhere from, depends on the size of the room. We do one room that holds about 50 people that's been consistently pretty packed. We did an airplane hangar a couple weeks ago.
Fucking sick, guys.
That we had about 70 people at, in a room that could hold, I don't know, 3,000 to 4,000. But
whoa.
It was very cool. It was cooler because the room was so fucking big, and we put a very cool comedy crowd in that room with a stacked lineup. It was pretty fun. It was good.
What days do you guys run the actual club? Like a weekend?
We do an open mic there on Wednesdays. We do. I don't want to. Technically, we do both. We do some Bringer. Well, we're going to be doing some Bringer shows on Thursday nights just to get some of the guys that want to play the bigger room, but can't.
No, that's
really
fair.
headline it.
See, you guys could do bring your shows because you're not fucking Broadway comedy club. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like I'm talking about clubs, like legitimate clubs who do that are fucking because they get people, like they get the walk-in traffic. Like, you know, they
Right.
do.
Right.
Yeah, these are all of our buddies. You know, like it's Connecticut. There's like 30 guys
different.
probably here
It's
total. Like, hey
When I say
man,
don't
bring
bring-
3 of
I'm
your
talking about, like,
friends.
LA,
You're on the
New York.
show.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
So then we
No,
book.
it's totally different.
Then we book the weekends, Friday, Saturday. It's not every single Friday, Saturday. It's basically one or the other for right now.
Right.
Plus Wednesday, plus Thursday, plus we also do a Monday night show at a different place, a few towns up from that, which is more of an open mic, but it's a more fun type of open mic. It's not just, I don't know. It's not. We do a lot of.
we have music. We have one of the things we do, and you'll enjoy this. The nerd in you. I don't know if you like wrestling at all. We have everyone pick a walk-up song.
Yeah.
And then get up there. So like everyone, like there's music played in between, and like, you know, a lot of the guys, we all know each other and like play funny song. Like one guy looks like Mike Myers from Halloween. And it's horrifying. And so we play the Halloween theme song when he walks up, and everyone gets it and they laugh. Like the music plays a good part in it, so it's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it
brings
really-
the crowd
Yeah.
in.
It definitely is a.
No,
different element.
we'll talk after more. If you guys ever come down to my way, I got stuff. Cause we run some shows out here too, by Philly.
Dude, I love that
If you guys
city.
ever
I'm
fucking-
in.
If you guys ever come down, we'll throw you up too. But we'll talk after. That's more business stuff. But
Yeah.
But
Would
yeah,
you?
that's,
Go ahead.
no, you said that's pretty much where I'm living now. Is right outside of Philly. But
I love
I
that
enjoy
city,
it.
man. It's great.
So
I
what's
really
your
like it.
what's your sports podcast all about?
oh, so that's me, my buddy Blaze Kagakis. He's a comic. He's a young comic. He's like a year in. And then my buddy Kevin, who's not a comic. He's just a friend of mine. But he's very good on the mic. We just we sit down and we just shoot the shit. We kind of pre-pick topics each episode. Like, all right, this week we're gonna talk like NFL and like MMA, and we'll pick like NFL topics and MMA topics, and then we'll do like at the end we'll do like a sports recap, like sports news, current events type thing, like anything going on in the sports world. And then we're gonna start bringing guests. And then we talk about everything. We just don't talk about football. Like there's a lot of sports podcasts out there. Like we're a sports podcast, but they only talk football.
Right.
We try to talk. I mean, it's a lot of football because football's going on right now. It's the biggest fucking thing.
Yeah.
But we try to break it up into a lot of other stuff too to make it more inclusive. Especially we do talk a lot of MMA because of my background, and our producer, he's also an MMA guy too. So, we're also ripping off Rogan's idea. We're gonna start doing fight companions.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's dope. So we just get chill, watch fights, get drunk, and talk about what's happening.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's
We're gonna start
awesome.
doing that on Slapstick Sports. That's a sports podcast one. Yeah.
That's very cool. What's your opinion on like what's going on in the NFL nowadays? This is a weird year. This is a weird season. It's very top heavy, the league. Like it seems like a lot of teams suck. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I feel like it's always the Patriots, right? I'm not surprised the fucking 49ers are undefeated. But
right, that's what I mean. It's weird. Like,
but like the Chiefs losing was weird. I don't know. The Colts without Andrew Luck. It's a huge year. I don't know. I'm a Giant fan. I really, really legitimately thought yesterday we had a show last night, so I was like kind of watching a little bit from like what I could.
same. Yeah, we had
But
the show
I
at the
kept-
bar. Yeah.
Yeah, but I kept walking outside, like the doors. And I'm like, holy shit, 14-14. I'm like, we're gonna fucking do this. So we walked outside. I was like, oh my god, 35-20. What the hell happened?
The Patriots were like, you know what? We're gonna start acting like ourselves.
And that's the
That
Giants,
was a bummer.
obviously.
But
Yeah, the
I'm gonna
Giants.
text my wife right now. She's gonna ruin this dog world.
It's all good, dog.
But hey, Ollie, mommy's home. There she is. Yep, there you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Adam,
Making loud noises.
what was the first thing you talked about on stage? I always like asking people.
Oh, the first thing I talked about on stage was I think how I was creepy and I was good with picking up chicks at 18.
How I was
the very
creepy.
first thing. Yeah. Oh, my wife just said I'm still not good. Thanks.
But like, yeah, you signed up for this rest of your life, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, lady.
Yeah, but it was that, and it was not good. I had like one. I don't even remember the first joke I had that worked. Oh, I think I do. It was like I was trying to get a better view of this girl, but like she didn't trim her hedges for a while, so like it was annoying. That was like an 18-year-old stupid fucking joke, right? Like I'm being a creep. That was the first joke that like got a laugh, and I was like, oh shit, and then just bombed. The rest after that.
Isn't that the worst when like you're writing a joke or you're like thinking of a joke, you're like, this is gonna be so good, oh my god, I love it, and then you say it on stage and it doesn't do what you thought it was gonna do.
Oh, you mean what happened to me last night? Yeah.
Happened to me too last night with like two of my jokes. They'd hit at one spot and then there it didn't really hit. It's so weird. What's isn't it? It's just strange. Like, what's your writing process like?
My buddy Neil, who I do Nerds of Words with, he could just sit down and write. Yeah. I don't know how the fuck he does that. I need an idea first. Or like, oh, that's kind of a funny premise. And then I need to think of something, and then I sit down and kind of draw it out from there. But I can't just sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to write today. I can't do that. I just can't. I need an idea first.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
It's that simple.
Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty simple scenario there, dude.
Yeah. It's like, okay, what's funny about like this? I was driving by. I kept seeing like empty cop cars, like fool people slowing down. I was like, that's kind of just like Scarecrow for people, And like, I thought of that. I was like, did I hear that before? And I googled it, and then like I didn't initially come up with something. So I was like, is that something? And then I saw my friend post something kind of similar. I was like, so that's annoying too. And that's the beauty about Google is like you think of something, and you're like, oh, is that original?
Yeah.
And then I'll Google it. And then if you don't find it, you're like, ooh. And then I'll tweet out the premise. Almost as like a timestamp.
Mm-hmm. And then that's how you save it. What's going on there? What? Hello? What happened?
You there? Ooh, hold on. You there?
Yep.
Good. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Well, Greg's fired, so it's just me now.
It's my second technical difficulty of the day.
I know, you're really fucking up, dude. One more and you're done. We're done here. I'm going to join the Nerds with Words podcast, even though I have nothing to talk about, probably.
Neil doesn't either. Neil's on that stream truly for fucking feel like curious, almost. Neil's thing is like horror movies. That's like what he fucking...
Oh, that's his like nerd. So it's get into that. I want to know about Nerds with Words. Like, what is it exactly?
So it's kind of like we have a different guest on each week, and it'll be like it's mostly comedians because we know so many. But like we've had on like Justin Wren from like the UFC and Bellator before, Kyle Bachniak from the UFC. We've had on like Dr. Lou from like Star Talk podcast. We know the guys Tyson. We've had on some pretty cool guests. But it's not so much like an interview podcast. Like people think it is. We're trying to get out of that. It's not an interview podcast. Like the only thing we ever ask people as like a segment of the show is like, what are you nerdy about? Like it could be anything. You'd be like, fucking, I'm nerdy about birds. I don't give a shit. Like it could be anything. What are you nerdy about? And has that nerdiness affected you negatively or positively in your life? Like, have you like lost relationships over it? Did you get champ over it? Have you like found a new avenue over it? And that's pretty much the only question, we ask people. And then we do like other segments, like Neil will do like This Week in Nerd History and purposely write like kind of like hack jokes. Right. Just so we could be like, that's terrible. As a joke, like kind of like a stupid bit. Yeah, and then I'll go over like, I'll bring up like a graphic novel or a comic book that I think people should read. I'll be like, hey, I think everyone should go read like the Kingdom Come offshoot of DC. It's like a 4-arc comic book of like a alternate Earth 22 timeline of like Batman and Superman. I talk about it a little bit. I'll do that shit.
Now you're talking and then we Scope's language with Kingdom Come.
What's that?
Kingdom Come, big boy. Kingdom Come was like
Are we spelling cum cum?
I mean, how else do you spell it? It was like a weird offshoot from like DC. They did like because like DC had like 52 Earths. Yeah. This is like on Earth 22, and it was like a different timeline where like this really super powerful superhero comes into play called Magog, and he just kind of starts killing people. Like he kills the Joker, and he accidentally kills like half of America. And it's like it's like a fallout from that. Yeah. It's like a whole fallout. It's good though. You know, people should go check it out. It's only 4 issues, so people should go check it out.
What have you seen, by the way? Speaking of the Joker, have you seen?
I did see it.
What do you think?
It was very good.
I thought it was very good too.
Yeah, very good.
Are you excited for the Harley Quinn or the Birds of Prey? Well, you're not. Why not?
No, it looks terrible.
Really?
Uh-oh. Greg's all excited for it, so
I am. I was.
Why?
Well, I've seen a bunch of it because of my work.
Right.
And it looks pretty badass. And I was on the set for 2 days, and just seeing what we saw go down was
well, that's bias.
It definitely is biased when you get to hang out with Margot Robbie for a couple days.
Yeah. The fucking of course.
You know, so there definitely is a bias there, but at the same time, I've been on a lot of other sets I didn't come out with a bias of. This just looks super fun. It could totally fucking suck. But
also, like we talked about before, like why is DC so bad? Like they haven't made a good one, so why would this be good? Also, just, on history alone.
Yeah, well, the money would be on it not being good, but
yeah, if I'm a betting man, which I am.
I wasn't a fan of the first Wonder Woman. I just didn't particularly care for it.
Really? I thought it was pretty good. I thought that was their best movie.
Yeah, no, it definitely
That's
was
what I said too.
Movie.
That's exactly what I said.
I just wasn't a fan of the setting and the time period of that movie, which I understand.
Oh, well, origin story. Right. All that.
So I wasn't down with that. But the new one that comes out in May,
84.
I was on that too. That fucking thing looks awesome. And again, it could be because it speaks to my timeline of being a teenager. But it really looks fun. Like
my dad worked with some guys who were like grips on the Avengers movies, and they were like, "It was so awesome."
That's a hell of a job to have.
Yeah, it's like when I was selling insurance. So what did that say about you? Yeah. Do better. Do better at gripping. I don't know.
What do you think about all these people that are complaining about the Joker movie?
Oh, fucking eat shit, dude. Fucking come on.
Right? I love the people. Well, this is the dumbest thing. This is what I think the dumbest thing is. Greg's going to pee, by the way. So
okay.
It's just you and I, Adam. So this is what I thought was so stupid, right? They're like, oh, it's very violent. It's like, first of all, it's no more violent than any other movie.
Yeah.
That has violence in it. I'm one of my favorite movies of all time. You're from Staten Island. I'm Italian.
Yes.
Goodfellas.
So am I. Of course I'm Italian.
Pretty fucking violent, right? But it's just good-looking dudes in suits. It's not a creepy fucking guy who's unraveling, so it's a little bit more unnerving. So they talked about the violence. Now, I love the people that also critiqued Joaquin Phoenix. Like, it wasn't as good. It was slow and boring. It's like, dude, it's not The Dark Knight.
Right.
Like, it's an origin story of someone literally unraveling. And
into madness, yeah.
And it's very uncomfortable.
Which is also funny, too, about, dude, that scene in Casino, when they beat Joe Pesci and his brother to death.
Oh, my God, in the cornfield? It's the fucking worst. That's one of the most
brutal on-screen deaths, because it's like, you hear the dings.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, don't ding. You're like, ding, ding. You're like, oh my. Now, when I still watch, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I love that movie. I'm not kidding. I turn it off at that part. I stop it. I'm
brutal.
like, okay, that's it. Done. That's can't watch
worse than anything I've seen in this fucking. Oh, maybe I don't want to give it away, but maybe that scene in the apartment was pretty rough. But like,
yeah, no, I know. There's a couple of scenes that are rough.
So my dad. So I went to Comic Con with my dad last weekend, and like he didn't see it yet. So I was trying to explain to him. I was like, listen, it's very dark, and I was trying to explain the scene when that first time on the train when he loses it.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain. It was almost like you were watching like a CCT murder video.
Yeah.
On that last one, because it was so it was silent. There's no music. It was so you could hear a pin drop, and it was so like real.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was like, and the way they filmed it from the side too. It wasn't like a moving camera. It was just like again like a steady. It was just I was like, oh my God. really fucking dark.
Dude, the music too. The music is pretty incredible. Like, I went and looked up a soundtrack on Spotify, and I played the song from. I won't give away. It's a scene after the train scene where he's in the bathroom and he's dancing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, like.
It's but you know what this is? Again, I don't want to get fucking political. This is a lot of that, far left progressive CNN propaganda, incel bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't buy that. Don't be a sheep.
Right.
It's funny. I actually tweeted out something to your point about. I said the Joker has been around for 60 plus years, and his origin has literally from day one has been laced with mental illness and ultra violence and anarchy. And all of a sudden, in 2019, it's the problem. CNN. I'm like, eat my dick. How about that?
Dude, it's true. Everyone, now it's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, first of all, it's a movie, and I love that people are, they did such a not a lot of press for it because they were so worried about what happened last time with the Dark Knight and the shootings and all that. And I was talking to a client of mine, and I was like, it would be crazy if someone could just go to a movie and enjoy it and then go home and not kill anyone,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, they shouldn't put out this movie. Like, listen, they're doing their thing.
Listen, once you start, again, I'm a libertarian. Once you start to say you shouldn't, you're an enemy of me. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. Once you start to tell me what you can and can't put out there, I don't want to hear it. Right. You're done. You're enemy. You're enemy of the people now. So, like, on either side.
Yeah.
So once you go, well, that's offensive to me. Your feelings don't matter.
It's true. It's offensive to me. It's like, I remember this happened. This was a while ago. I remember in high school, actually. So my mother died when I was a kid, right? Now, I don't share that.
Stop bragging.
I don't share that all the time with people. There's no way people could have known. I don't shake their hand and go, oh, by the way, my mother's dead. So there's no way they could have known.
You just shake other things on impact.
Yeah, I shake other things. But anyway, someone made a comment. We were like 16, and someone was like, yeah, dude. Some of my friends, my close friends knew, and some dude was like, we were all fucking with each other, as dudes do in high school. We're all boys. They're like, yeah, dude, I was with your mom last night. And I was like, yeah, I was with your dad, blah, blah, blah. And we were like joking around. And my buddies were like, dude, you're not pissed at what he said. I go, your mom's dead. And I was like, yeah, he doesn't know that. That's not, why would I be offended at something he didn't even fucking know what was happening? It's not important. We were fucking around. I'm not going to be, and then stop, ruin the day for everyone. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. I also, I'm gonna fucking lose people. I'm also pretty deep into conspiracy stuff, so I do a lot of research. I do a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I don't know how much of all that, all this really is at face value. Let's put it that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today with Adam Nutter, flat earther.
No, not that. I believe in stuff.
I know.
That's one I don't believe in. That is one I believe in. Because here's why. What's the reasoning for that being a lie?
I don't know.
No one's ever said why. That's the thing. Yeah. And I'll listen to anything you got to say. I really will.
Yeah.
Like, I'll listen to anything you want to throw at me. Like, I saw this. I'm like, okay, well, tell me about it. But if you go, well, the Earth is flat, and there's ice walls, and all the world governments are just guarding it from us, and I go, well, I believe that for other things, but why do you think that the Earth is flat matters then? Why? And they go, and I go, okay, well, I can't use that then, man. For what purpose? Like, you want to tell me everyone's trying to keep aliens from me? I get it. There's many reasons why, right? But like. So you're telling me that like we're flat,
so you're telling me you don't believe that Shaquille O'Neal is correct in saying the world is flat and Shaquille's rationale.
You mean B.O.B. Bob the rapper doesn't
because I do.
Because I do, sir.
I get all my shit from Shaq.
Yeah, everything, dude.
A lot of other stuff, like, I believe in like a lot of people trying to make a new world order try to happen. A lot of that.
Okay.
But
interesting. Who killed JFK? What do you think?
Probably the CIA.
Wow.
Probably.
Better question: do you think that Jimmy Hoffa was really buried under Giant Stadium?
No, but he's fucking buried. He just chopped up somewhere. He's gone. I mean, I don't think you ever find his body. I think it's like literally like just vaporized probably by now. Like he's fucking, like cremated his ass. Like he's gone.
I think it's.
I don't think it's
line.
The 50-yard line.
That would be sick though if he was.
Oh, that's my.
By the way, speaking of, can't wait till that movie comes out. The Irishman on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Every Italian actor ever is in it.
Sebastian Maniscalco's in
He
that.
is. He's doing so much, man, for a comedian, dude.
I
He's
know.
fucking killing it. It's unbelievable.
Oh, Joey Diaz is in that too.
He's in it?
Yeah.
I did not know
He gets
that.
beat up in the trailer. He gets beat up in one of the trailers, I think. He gets slapped around by somebody. De Niro or somebody.
That's great. I had no
It'd
fucking
be awesome
idea.
watching De Niro slap around Diaz.
Yeah.
Dude, Diaz is fucking. Oh, he's a killer on. Ever seen him in person, like live?
No, I have not.
I saw him in AC years ago.
He's the one that has eluded me repeatedly in Los Angeles.
Crushed.
Yeah, Greg's been to the
So
comedy
funny.
store a lot, and he's seen some. He sends me when he goes to LA. He sends me pictures of the lineup, and I'm like, "How is this fucking real? Like,
I know.
like, how is that a real thing?"
You know what though? And again, I'm not trying to toot my horn at all here, but like when we were out in LA this past summer, and I'm not even talking about the shows we were doing because again, we weren't at the store, we weren't at fucking the factory, but we were doing like comedy rooms that like are regular, like they're regularly run comedy rooms, like so like they're well attended, like these are regular run shows. So we're doing those, and like we're on with other LA comics, and I'm like, hey, I talked to like Neil and my buddy Tom who came out. We all went out together, and I'm like, that's nothing. These guys aren't that great.
Yeah.
They're not any better than what we see back in Philly and New York.
Yeah.
In fact, they're not. They're not as good. And then we went to the comedy store. Like I said, we went to hang out. We snuck in on we paid. But like we went on two shows. We went on two shows. And we're watching like the He-Man War.
Yeah.
And like he kind of like ripped off a bit, like a little bit. Like he kind of stole a bit a little bit. I was like, okay. And then I'm watching like other guys who are like in the main room. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't impressed.
Also, too, I mean, they're working stuff out, right? Like nothing's like really polished.
Not the main room.
Oh, the main room's all polished stuff.
Dude, the main room's the fucking main room out there, man. Like you're bringing like your A game. It's a fucking packed lineup. Belly room and OR is where you work on shit. With the main room, you're bringing your fucking A game out there. That's like what everyone tells us, So I was like, okay, I don't know.
Gotcha.
Like Kyle Dunnigan actually crushed. Yeah, he was fucking great. But I'm not even shitting on him because I mean, obviously, who the fuck am I, right? But like,
you're Adam Nutter, dude.
Saying,
you have a $2,000 comic
I'm just saying,
book.
like, don't let people think like, don't LA comics be like, oh, I'm from LA. Like, fuck you. Who cares?
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. Plus, we're from the Northeast, bro. We don't fuck around.
That's true.
You fucking talk shit to us. So, Adam, what's
while he's sitting there with his dick out of his pants?
Pretty much. I'm wearing joggers. But anyway, so Adam, what's next for you, dude? What are you trying to do with like the podcast, the comedy? You trying to grow it all at once? Like you trying to get a Netflix special?
Man, we're trying. No, I mean, I doubt it, but that'd be great. No, I mean, I think what we're trying to do is like, so we, Neil and I, we also created a little media company called Drop Tent Media Network, and that's like all the podcasts are kind of under that umbrella. So we have a studio in Philly that a bunch of podcasts record out of. So if anybody out there wants to check out Drop 10 Media Network and all the podcasts under it, check that out. Nerds with Words is part of Drop 10, but we're not under that YouTube channel. So if you want to watch us on YouTube, just subscribe to Nerds with Words separately. But if you guys want to check out all the other podcasts on Drop 10, we have a lot of other great shows, and they're all different. Like we have like a relationship comedy show. We have one comedy show where we have comics talking about they bring on a different comic each week, and they talk about like their awful life and the sad shit that happened to them. It's called the Magical Misery Tour. Lovable Monsters is about it's two comics who talk about like they have call-ins about sex and relationship advice. My buddy Blaze, who I do Slapstick Sports with, he's going to start a new podcast called I think High History, where it's him and his co-host, and they bring on a different guest each week, and he doesn't reveal the topic to them, but they go over like a historical topic each week while smoking weed.
So like drunk,
So it's like
drunk history.
Kind of, yeah, but high, yeah. And so yeah, we're doing that. We're trying to grow that. We also run like comedy shows. With Drop 10 too. So like we produce like actual stand-up shows. So we're just trying to spread that out. We got Aaron Berg coming out to headline our February show. So if you guys are anybody in the Philly area want to come out to that show on February 6th, that's gonna be awesome. Aaron Berg's headlining.
Where is it?
So it's at the Pop Inn in Chalfont, Pennsylvania. It's all going to be up all over my social media and stuff, so people could definitely check that out. But that's going to be a good one. So we're just trying to grow, man. We're trying to travel more. I think Neil and I will be maybe going to Ohio later this year to do Dayton. So we're trying. Fucking trying, man.
What's your social handles?
Oh, at Adam Nutter for me personally on everything. Type Adam Nutter, and I'm the only one coming up. Trust me, you'll see me.
You're the only nut coming up.
The only nut coming up, dude. It's a typical. I have a stand-up comedian picture, me on the microphone, because that's how we have to validate ourselves. So at Adam Nutter and everything. From Nerds with Words, just type that in on YouTube. We're available all across the board. Slapstick Sports also, if you guys check that out. Just download, subscribe, rate, review, all that great shit.
Beautiful,
awesome.
Dude.
All right, homie.
It was great talking to you, man. It was really. When you come to Connecticut, you got to come to the club we book, and then vice versa. We'll connect. Yeah.
We'll talk when we get out those podcasts, and we'll talk.
Yeah, I'll shoot you over some stuff, and then we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, brother.
Have a great weekend, Adam. It was a pleasure
talking
to you.
Dude.
Thanks a lot, man.
Same, man.
Take care.